Hey guys, and welcome to this week's morphology lesson, the day one lesson as we dive into our new morphology focus. This week, we're moving from Latin roots to Latin prefixes. Now, what we've learned about Latin roots is that they are the primary meaning of the word that we are looking at. They hold the most meaning of whatever word we are observing. Now, this week, we're shifting our focus on the prefixes that are of the Latin origin. Now, we studied the Latin root fix at the very beginning of this semester when we started talking about Latin origin. And fix means to attach or to fix onto something. Now, if we look at this word prefix, we see pre up or at the beginning of the word. Pre means before. So if we take that whole word of prefix, it means to fix before a word. So we're going to be looking at a Latin prefix this week, meaning what we're looking at attaches before the word. So we are going to dive right on in and look at our new morphological unit for this week. We're going to observe the prefix sub this week. Sub. With sub, I hear b, sub. Three sounds represented by S-U-B. Can you brainstorm any words with the prefix sub in them? Now remember, sub is a prefix, meaning that it is going to be before or at the beginning of the word. So think about it for a minute and think of any words that you instantly recall in your mind that have the prefix sub. Did you think of any? I thought of one. Being a teacher, sometimes you have to miss a day for sickness or for your kids or something, and so you have to ask for a substitute. You have to ask for a sub if you're looking at it short, which we can't use that on its own. It's kind of more of slang. But when you ask for a substitute, you have somebody come and they watch your class and teach your class while you are away. So that was the first word that came to my mind when I heard the prefix sub. Now, let's explore the meaning of sub. When I think and hear of sub, I instantly look at this picture of this dog, or I think of this picture of this dog, and I realize that he is under, beneath, behind, or below. Under, beneath, behind, or below. That is the meaning of our Latin prefix sub this week. Now, there are some other meanings of the Latin prefix sub, but these are the ones that we're going to mostly focus on for this week. Under, beneath, behind, or below. And you know, every single week we have a key picture. And like I said, this dog is going to be our key picture to help us remember that this is the meaning of the Latin prefix sub. Now, sub is an interesting prefix. It is what we call an assimilated prefix. Say that and repeat it after me. Assimilated prefix. Good job. Now, you might be wondering, what does that even mean? Those are some huge words. I don't know what an assimilated prefix means. And really, I'm just telling you this just so you have it for your knowledge. An assimilated prefix means the last letter of the prefix will change in order to match the root word that we have. So, for our prefix sub, sometimes it can change to suf. Suf can be an assimilated prefix of sub. So, we use suf, S-U-F, instead of sub, S-U-B, when the root word begins with the letter F. If we look at the root word, which is after our prefix, and it begins with the letter F, or we hear the F sound, we will use the prefix suf instead of sub. We'll look at some examples of this throughout the week, but here's this little tidbit just for your knowledge. Here's some examples of some words that have suf, the assimilated prefix of sub. Suffer, sufficient, suffix. If you notice in all three of these words, we have the prefix of suf at the beginning of the word, and then the root word begins with the f sound represented by the letter F, giving us the hint that we are going to use suf as our prefix. Now, if we look over here at subject, we do not see that any of our roots begin with F or the f sound, so we're using sub as our prefix. All right, let's add the original prefix sub as well as the assimilated prefix to our, don't add this one right here, to our notebook, and we will also add the meaning under, beneath, or below. Add that to your notebook, and we'll pick up here tomorrow.